well, Brandon, the notion that murder is an art which a few superior beings should be allowed to practice.
In season.
Now I know you're not serious.
But I am. I'm a very serious fellow.
Then may I ask, who is to decide that a human being is inferior and is therefore a suitable victim for murder?
The few who are privileged to commit murder.
And just who might they be?
Oh, myself. Philip. Possibly Rupert. Well, I'm sorry, Kenneth. You're out.
Gentlemen, I'm serious.
So are we, Mr. Catley. The few are those men of such intellectual and cultural superiority that they're above the traditional moral concepts. Good and evil, right and wrong were invented for the ordinary average man, the inferior man, because he needs them.
Alfred Hitchcock, long considered the master of suspense, worked to redefine the horror genre, giving it a recurring psychological aspect, and also broke barriers in relation to visual symbolism and the role of the director.
Hitchcock once said all actors are cattle, but that certainly did not stop him from choosing favorites. Among the actors he commonly used were Cary Grant, Leo G. Carroll, and Jimmy Stewart, who starred in some of Hitchcock's best films.
We watched Rear Window, Rope, and Vertigo. Each film is conceptually and visually unique, and Jimmy Stewart plays a prominent role in all of them.
Rear Window is the story of a photographer named Jeff. While recovering from injury, he passes his time by peering into the lives of his neighbors.
As time passes, he becomes increasingly obsessed with his neighbor, whom he believes to be a killer.
Did it.
Grace Kelly stars alongside Jimmy Stewart as his outspoken and refined girlfriend, who initially skeptical of the crime soon becomes equally captivated by the scene playing out in front of her.
Most of the film moves slowly as Jimmy Stewart sits in his wheelchair, watches his neighbors, and complains about his relationship.
She's too perfect, she's too talented, she's too beautiful, she's too sophisticated, she's too everything but what I want.
Suspense builds gradually as Jeff's neighbor's behavior becomes increasingly suspicious.
What really makes this film worth it is the last 30 minutes or so, which is pure suspense and anticipation.
Stella, what do we do?
Look, the wedding ring.
Hello, Tom. I think Thorwald's left. I don't... Hello.
The film's theme delivers a complex message about voyeurism and obsession.
Too much credit. He might have gotten a hold of something when he said that was pretty private stuff going on out there. I wonder if it's ethical to watch a man with binoculars and a long focus lens. Do you suppose it's ethical even if you prove that he didn't commit a crime?
I'm not much on Rear Window ethics.
The film is visually interesting as the entire movie is shot from the same few angles in a single location.
Rope is a movie about two men who believe murder is an art form, which inspires them to kill off one of their friends and hold a party, during which they serve food upon the case on which the body has been hidden.
Oh, it looks heavenly.
This film arguably has the weakest supporting cast of the three movies, and the puns and sly references to murder do not help.
town hall at that.
That's wonderful. I hope you knock him dead.
I could really strangle you, Brandon.
What have I done now?
I'm to be locked up.
Oh, well, we're really killing two birds with one stone.
These hands will bring you great fame.
It isn't someone's birthday, is it? Don't look so worried, Kenneth. It's really almost the opposite.
Jimmy Stewart delivers a stellar performance as Rupert, a suspicious guest and old friend who eventually discovers the violent crimes of the hosts.
A majority of the dialogue and action in the film revolve around the philosophical and pseudo-intellectual mindset through which the main characters perceive their actions.
Immaculate murder. We've killed for the sake of danger and for the sake of killing. We're alive. Truly and wonderfully alive. Even champagne isn't equal to us or the occasion.
The movie attempts to, but fails to present an actual philosophical or moral dilemma.
For those few who are really superior individuals.
And the victims, inferior beings whose lives are unimportant anyway.
Obviously. Now, mind you, I don't hold with the extremists who feel that there should be open season for murder all year round. No.
However, this does not make Jimmy Stewart's realization by the end of the film any less climactic.
Society we live in. By what right do you dare say that there's a superior few to which you belong? By what right did you dare decide that that boy in there was inferior and therefore could be killed?
The redeeming qualities of the movie include the way it was filmed and the well thought out, if at times repetitive, dialogue.
The pacing of this movie is also slow due to concept and Alfred Hitchcock's decision to never show a cut. This was done by switching takes whenever an actor walked in front of the camera, thus giving the movie the appearance of being filmed in one shot.
Vertigo is both stunning and bizarre in its imagery and obscure plotline.
Jimmy Stewart plays John Ferguson, a former detective who left his department after his paralyzing fear of heights led to the escape of a criminal and the death of an officer.
Also starring is Kim Novak, who plays her in two very different roles perfectly.
John is approached by an old friend who asks him to follow his suicidal and mentally unstable wife.
John saves her when she attempts to drown herself in the San Francisco Bay, and despite her dreamlike paranoia and obsession with death, falls madly in love with her.
You're merely direct. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I don't want to die. There's someone within me who says I must die. You believe I will?
Yes.
And if you lose me, then you'll know I loved you and I wanted to go on loving you.
I won't lose you.
Let me go into the church. Alone.
Why?
Kim Novak's character attempts suicide once again, but this time is not saved by John, who is slowed down by his vertigo.
The film is really about a person's ability to lie to themselves, as Jimmy Stewart's character attempts to bring back what he knows is gone, even willing to ruin another person's life.
However, the truth is revealed to be far more complex than anyone would have imagined, and the unforeseeable twist, while slightly far-fetched, gives the whole movie an entirely different dynamic.
Well, out his necklace. There was where you made your mistake, Judy. You shouldn't keep souvenirs of a killing. You shouldn't have been. You shouldn't have been that sentimental.
This film is highly symbolic, and unlike the other two movies, contains a large amount of locations all throughout the Bay Area. Hitchcock makes a point of including bizarre images and colors to contribute to the surreal quality of the film.